Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about the Celtic versus Rangers game. It is a day after the game's happened. I've given my time to gather my thoughts. I'm very disappointed about it all. It was very I don't even know. I can't really put it into words right now. It was disappointing, to say the least. We're just going to jump right into it. There's not much to say. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe. I know it's hard to like it, but show support. But anyways, like I said, it's disappointing, this game, but it's certainly not worrying. That's the one thing. That's the one positive I can take from this. It's not a worrying result. You know, we're a work in progress Celtic team going up against an established Rangers team. I know they were missing a few players, but you know, they're off the back of winning a title. We're off the back of having our worst season in decades. This isn't me making excuses. We didn't play well enough on the day. I felt maybe just going into the game tactically, we weren't how we were set up. I feel like going into other games, we resorted to what we normally do against Rangers and play those long balls, pass it around the back and get ourselves in bad situations where Rangers are pressing us down and we're forced to just punt it out, giving Rangers the ball right back again. Even though we did dominate the possession, I honestly didn't really feel like it. If you ask me, I thought Rangers had most of the balls. Kind of shocked whenever I saw those possession stats. But look, we're just gonna go event by event of the game. The first main event being that Odsonne Edouard miss. I don't know. It's just really unlucky because it's hit the one part of his foot where he didn't want it to hit, and it's the back of his heel. He's completely mistimed it. I feel bad for Odsonne because that was probably his last game in a Celtic shirt. He looks like, at time of recording this, it's the day before deadline day, a few hours before deadline day starts, my time at least in the States, that he'll be going off to Crystal Palace for a deal around 18 million is what the word is from Fabrizio Romano. But yeah, that's disappointing. I don't even know, I can't put it into words again. It's the same thing. Edouard, maybe his mind's elsewhere. You know, maybe his mind was in Crystal Palace at the time or down in England. It's just disappointing. I will get on to the lineup and how it should have been changed. There's a big obvious change with Kyogo and Edwards. Kyogo, sorry, for the middle. But we'll get on to that. The next big event really was the Rangers goal. It's leading from a corner that came from a bad mistake. I'm pretty sure it was. We let Rangers come forward and Joe Hart was forced to just punch it out and give it a corner, and then, you know, they went and scored. Philip Helander completely unmarked. I'd have to look back and see who was supposed to be marking him, but I'm pretty sure he just ran into the box and no one picked him up. And free header, you know, most centre backs will be scoring that. And it was, again, very disappointing that we couldn't defend that, because I felt coming out in the second half we were off the pace. First half it was end-to-end stuff, and second half Rangers kept their momentum and we dropped massively, like 50%, and that's what lost us the game. At the end of the day, Rangers dominated us in the second half and they went on to win the game after that Helander goal. Despite us having chances in the second half, we just couldn't take them. And I feel it's the same story every time whenever we play Rangers. We just can't take our chances. We can create them, but we have a problem with taking our chances against Rangers in the last, 2 seasons now we haven't beat Rangers. So it's just, like I said all the time, it's disappointing. And there's so many different ways to look at this game. You can look at it as it's an away game. We could have afforded to lose this game. It's early in the season. You can also look at this game as it sets a tone for the Oldfirm this season, and maybe we'll go into this next game needing a win, or we might go into this next game 9 points behind Rangers. You know, hopefully that's not the case. I personally don't think that's the case, because Andrew's team has showed more than enough that we can win the league this year, and I'm confident we will bounce back and win the league this year. You know, Rangers will be a great competition. I'm sure there will be a title race, and it will come down to the last few games, possibly the last game. You know, the last time we play Rangers might be the decider in it. Hopefully going our way, and but look, hopefully we can bounce back from this. Obviously there is a big international break, so, which again is, you know, it goes both ways. Some fans would rather us have a game and just get the result behind us and get a win against Ross County, who we're playing next, and just get the Rangers loss out of our head, put it past us. But we got to go for a frustrating international break with Scotland now, which I will be doing match previews for, match reviews. Well, I'll be doing match previews, but since I'm in the States, I won't be able to watch the games. I also won't be able to watch the Denmark and Austria game because it is during school for me, which is a pain in the arse. But I'll be doing match previews. I'll be doing some videos for Scotland, I'm pretty sure, for this international break. But yeah, there's really not much else for me to say here. Other than it's just disappointing. I sound like Neil Lennon right now, but it's just... I should say this. I'm not blaming this on the ref. I'm not doing anything, but the reffing in that game was horrendous. There was a lot of challenges that just should have been called. A lot of times Rangers players should have been booked. A lot of time Rangers players got away with stuff. It's just disappointing. I feel like it's the same story again with any game for Celtic. The refs are shocking in Scotland, and we need to bring in foreign referees. And I'm sure other clubs and fans will agree in Scotland that needs to happen, and it's better for the game all around. But anyway, we're going to move on to the tactics of the game and what I think we should have changed. I wouldn't have changed anything, honestly. I would have gone out with the Ange ball type of football, the nice passing football, not the punting the ball up the field whenever we get a bit of pressure, because we're scared of playing Rangers. We're scared of the Rangers' pressure for some reason. And also, I'd switch Kyogo and Edouard. I'd take Edouard off and put Christie in the left and bring Rogic in for Christie and Kyogo up top for the middle. I think that could have made the difference this game. I know Ange did come out and put his hands up, which is very respectable of a manager, saying he should have started Kyogo in Edouard's position. Obviously, he did say it was harder because we are missing three wingers right now. We're missing Dembele, Johnson. At the time, we're missing Forrest, who I imagine probably would have played on the left if he played Kyogo up top. Obviously, was unavailable. That's another thing I'm excited about Celtic going forward, is getting Dembele back in the team, getting Mikey Johnson back in the team. I think Dembele showed a lot in pre-season. I mean, he scored in, I think, almost every game he played in. I don't know. I need to look back at that, but he was very convincing. That injury in pre-season was devastating. I think it was Kelsey Palmer, a challenge from behind. A challenge that shouldn't be anywhere near friendly, especially on a 17, 18-year-old like Kamoko Dembele. It was disrespectful, to say the least. But yeah, it'll be exciting to see him come back into the team. He'll probably have a hard time getting over Abada, maybe bring us Jota, the Portuguese lad, in as well. He may have a hard time getting the team, but I think he'll be willing to fight for it, and hopefully we can get him on a bigger deal than just the 1-year extension we gave him. But yeah, now we're just going to move on to player ratings. In goal, Joe Hart, I'll be honest, he didn't have too much to do. I mean, he did concede a goal, but other than that, he didn't have too much to do. He made 2 good saves against Kent, which I can remember, but not good saves, I mean average saves. But I'm going to give him a 7, purely because there's a lot of times where he got the ball passed back to him and he waited so long, waiting for the perfect pass, and a Rangers player steps and he just has to punt it out aimlessly, and that was disappointing at times. We'll move on to right back Anthony Ralston. If you ask me, he was our best player in the pitch, not just in defensive line, the whole pitch. The only player that looked like showing anything in the game. I'm going to give Ralston a 9 out of 10, you know. There was just a few times he had some disappointing crosses, and other than that, defensively he was solid. Going forward, other than those crosses, he was pretty solid, making good passes, which is great. It's what you like to see from a right back. Our 2 centre-backs, Starfelt and Welsh, both I'm just going to give a 7, you know. Again, they did alright. A lot of diagonal passing and punting up from them, which was poor, but I can't get on their cases too hard for that. There's not really too much to say about them. Left back, also have Juranovic. I will give him an 8, purely because he came in a very tough game, out of position as well, and I thought he did alright. You know, he made a mistake a few times, which in your debut in the Oldfirm, signing like 48 hours, 72 hours before the game as well, it's expected. But I mean, he saw it the game, I'm pretty sure, and he did well, so I'll give him an 8 out of 10. Moving on to the middle, we had Callum McGregor. I thought he was pretty solid. Didn't really put a foot wrong. He was alright for most of the game. I'm going to give him an 8 as well. You know, just nothing too special from him. Didn't really pop up much, but he did good and pretty solid. Christie, I'm going to give a 6. I know it's controversial. I just feel Christie wasn't good enough. He gassed out later in the game, which is expected, but normally Christie has an engine that will run for the majority of the game until 5-10 minutes before. But he was gassed out by the 70th minute, which from Celtic standard isn't good enough. But moving on, we had Turnbull. I'm going to give Turnbull a 5. I thought Turnbull was shocking. He didn't show anything. He was really slow to come to the ball, very slow when he got on the ball. Going forward, he'd lose the ball, misplaced passes. He made a few good passes, but mostly misplaced, or he's lost the ball or been tackled for dwelling on the ball too long. Which again, it's not good enough from David Turnbull, which I expected much better from him, especially being off the back of scoring a hat-trick in his last domestic game at least. Moving on to the front three, we'll start with Abada. I'm going to give Abada a 7. Maybe a 6, honestly. 6.5. He didn't really get into the game, but at the same time, he didn't really put foot wrong, which, disappointing he didn't get into the game, disappointing he didn't make that impact, He is one of those players that just didn't show up. He showed up all season long, and as soon as the big game comes, he just didn't show up. Hopefully that's not a case with Abada. Hopefully he can continue his good form and next Oldfirm make a difference. But we'll also need him for these European games to step up, because performances like that aren't good enough. Striker, we had Odsonne Edouard. He did alright. He made a big miss. He was making good runs. And I'll give him a 7. I think that's being generous, honestly. Maybe a 6. A 6.5, honestly, again. Eddie, like I said, he's making good runs. Now he missed a sitter, and that's it, really. I mean, he didn't get much support up there, especially in the second half whenever he was on. And then obviously left wing Kyogo. I thought he was poor at left wing. He struggled with Balogun, which he shouldn't be. I feel like that's because taking it to the byline with Balogun, who's more of like a no-nonsense centre-back defender, it's easier for him to defend Kyogo when he's taking it to the byline. I think Kyogo should have been cutting in more, getting away from Balogun, maybe moving in central to get a shot off, or maybe cut in and Taylor makes an overlap or an inner lap run, but to get another ball in the box to leave Balogun behind. But at the same time, it was a great performance. Balogun, he had Kyogo in his pocket for most of the game. But when Kyogo did move up top, he made an immediate impact. Went in goal, should have squared it. No, one time he went in goal, he tried to put it over the keeper, which was just a great save from McCoy. The second time, he should have squared it to Christie. I think Christie went a bit too harsh on Kyogo, causing him, next time he went on goal a few minutes later, to square it when he should have shot it. Which again, it's just really unlucky for Celtic. This game really should have been 1-1 if you ask me. If we took our chances 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. I don't know, if Edouard scored that first chance at the beginning, I feel like we would have kicked on and maybe scored a second, maybe a third, and I don't know. Hopefully the floodgates would have opened, but hey, we'll never know. We'll never know. Anyways, I'll wrap up this video. Sorry it's a bit of a late video. You only do so much after that disappointing result. Make sure you guys do like this video if you did enjoy it. Subscribe if you're new around here and you like the video and you like the channel. Go watch my recent videos, all match previews and reviews. Not many of them, but I'm trying to build more consistency as we go. I feel I say that every video. But yeah, obviously I don't want to put this out here. The games I can watch, I'll do match preview reviews of and previews. The games I can't watch, I'm not going to do that because I won't really know what I'm talking about, because it'd just be inaccurate for me. So, but anyways, yeah, like I said, like the video, subscribe, leave a comment about things I could do better. Leave your comment on your opinion in the game, and leave your comment for video ideas you want in the future this week for me with Scotland. I've got a few video ideas planned up. I just need to find time to record it and edit it and get it up. But yes, I hope you guys have a good day. Hope you guys enjoy the international break, and I'll see you guys later.